Byron, congratulations on your nomination. Put into words for us what it means.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just when I came to Miami, the support staff that we have here and kind of how they help us reach out to community leaders and really make a difference. I think that's what made the biggest difference. I know that when I come to work, I have a group of people that's really helping me pursue things that are important off the field. And the Miami Dolphins since day one has been doing a good job at putting me in contact and my other teammates in contact with people that can really make a difference in this community.
Cam?
Hey, Byron, I know obviously this has been a year with a lot of social unrest, and you've been in charge of the Social Justice Impact Committee. What about your background and what you've experienced pushed you to be active in that respect?
I think it's really early 2020 where I looked myself in the mirror and asked myself, am I doing enough? And that answer was no. And I never wanted to get back to that point. So I just made a commitment to myself that, I'm going to be a part of positive change instead of just being on the sideline and really waiting for someone else to do it. I often think everyone kind of knows what to do, but everyone kind of expects someone else to do it. And I'm just taking the responsibility, holding myself accountable to really helping out. I've been blessed my entire life. So it's really time to give back to people who are not as fortunate as me.
Josh?
Hey, Byron, congrats on the nomination. I do have a football question, man. Obviously, the defense has played such a critical role here this season. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs and the threat they possess with all their weapons?
Yeah, no, they have one of the best offenses I've seen in a long time. Really weapons across the board. So it's just for us defensively, it's really just sticking to our fundamentals: cover, rush, tackle. Just cover, rush, tackle will be okay.
Armando?
If I could ask you about your side of that whole equation, there's been a lot of conversation about you being the best cornerback duo in the NFL. You're the highest paid cornerback duo in the NFL. Is a game like this an opportunity to prove all that, to pay dividends on all that?
X and I, our main goal is to just play good, solid football every single game. We want turnovers. We want to put hands on receivers. We want to stay patient at the line of scrimmage. Regardless of who we're playing against, our goal is always the same thing, and that's what we wish to accomplish. And we've done a pretty good job up to this point. But the summer football is where it really counts, and this is where teams really separate themselves. So we both have to step up and really perform these next couple of weeks, especially this week.
Byron, how would you say the level of community engagement by players in the NFL and professional athletes in general has changed over your time in the league? And why do you think it's changed?
Truthfully, when I came in, I didn't have a really good pulse. I wasn't really doing much in my community back in Dallas. But now you just see, just to see coordinated efforts across different teams and different sports. It's that's what I think is really impactful, is when people organize and they really push and pressure, officials to make changes. And I think that's where it's most important, is just getting everyone on board and really pushing them to step up to the plate, essentially. I think that's what's changed a lot in the past year or so. So that's exciting. That's definitely exciting. We know they're it's not a perfect country. There's things that we can fix, so let's fix it.
Cam?
Hey, Byron, on the field, I know in Dallas you guys played a lot of national TV games, marquee games. This one feels like maybe the bigger game for the year for you guys. I know probably the talk is just another game, but I'm sure as players you guys got to feel the levity of maybe an opponent like this. What do you maybe tell the guys about how to keep their cool but still show up to the moment?
Yeah, no. So we haven't had a single conversation about that, to be honest. We're just here to play football. So we practice the same time every day. We meet the same time every day. We know what the challenge is, but it's nothing to get yourself overworked at. Just do what we're coached to do. Stay in our X's and O's, and then we'll be okay. that's how football is. If you get yourself all riled up and you start doing things that are outside of your character. So we haven't had discussions like that, to be honest.
We'll take one more, Hal.
So Byron, how does one go about competing and contending with the speed of a Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, no, he's got a special gear, and they got a couple guys on that offense who can really run. I mean, you got to understand how he's used on a weekly basis, and to really try your best to limit his impact on the game. You know, he's going to get some. There's no question about that. But our job defensively is to limit that as much as we can. So that's a challenge. That's a fun challenge for us. You know, we probably haven't seen speed like this in a while. So it's just play good ball and chips will fall our way.
Bobby, I'm curious because you're the quarterback of the defense. What goes through your mind when Tyreek Hill motions and shifts like he usually does in Kansas City's offense? How many calls do you generally have to make sure everybody's on the same page?
Depending upon game plan, that's just being my role in the defense, having to get guys in the right place and understand where we're at and understand the things that beat us is something that comes with it. So, I'd love to tell you how many checks I have to make, but I'm not. But we definitely do a great job as a defense, as a secondary, understanding that when things move, things can change.
Dolphin.
Hey, Bobby, what's going on? Obviously you're going to have to make some decisions in the back end with guys like Tyreek Hill coming up the seam or other players like Sammy Watkins, and Hardman. When you have to make a decision between two guys and what side of the field you're going to go to defend, how difficult is that, in general?
I mean, you just got to play football. You got to play good football, rely on your fundamentals. The ball's going to be in the air as a defender, as a free, as a corner, as a nickel, as a safety. You know the ball is going to be in the air, so you just got to play. Just do what you know, and attack the football.
Alan.
Hey, Bobby. How much as a defense are you guys looking forward to see how you match up and measure up against this KC offense that so few teams have been able to slow down?
I know you guys, I know everybody outside of the building is excited about the game, and we're excited about the game too. It's a good challenge for us and a good challenge for them as well. But you got to take it week to week. This is our week's preparation, and we know they're a good team. We know they got really good players, and so do we. So at the end of the day, I'm not looking at so much matchup. I'm just looking at we have a job to do, and everybody knows we got to play well, and the goal is to come out with a W.
Dolphin.
Hey, Bobby, Coach talked about, you guys being in position to play some meaningful games here. What does that mean to you at this stage of your time being with the Dolphins to be in this position right now?
It's big. It's a really good chance to just, for teams to recognize that, that it's serious, and these are big games. Every game's a big game. This week's game's a big game. Next week, each game's a big game. So especially at this point with everything being so tight. So taking it week to week, man, understanding that, these games are going to be tighter. These games are going to be the games are going to get harder. It's going to be harder to win these games. And that's December football. And, we're happy to be a part of it.
Travis.
Hey, Bobby, I wanted to ask you about Byron Jones's role, not just on the team football wise, but his place in the locker room and the kind of that community of the locker room. I know that he is the head of the Dolphins Social Impact Committee, and today he was announced as the team's nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. Can you talk about Byron's role in that aspect of the game and of this team?
Byron, man, he does a great job in the community, putting forth his best effort, just trying to, even if it's not get the entire thing done, just take small steps. And we appreciate that. As a team, man, he's a great teammate, he's smart, he's a good player. We all appreciate it, and he knows that.
We'll take one more, Omar.
Bobby, what do you remember about the 2016 playoff run and what it took to get there?
The one thing I remember is just being in the biggest thing is being and finishing the close games. We had so many tight games that year that finished last play or last 2 or 3 plays. It's not like you're sitting on the sideline with 3 minutes left and you know, you cooling with a two possession lead. You know, these games were like 3-yard line is fourth down, you got to get a win. So that's what I remember the most about it. And you know, understanding it's a fun time to go through with your brothers and with your teammates and with your family, because you know it means something. These games, when you win them in December, they mean something.
I wanted to ask you about last Sunday. What did that performance that you had mean to you?
You know, it meant a lot. You know, just getting involved and stuff like that. You know, it felt good. That's what they brought me here for. So.
Omar?
Lynn, I wanted to ask you, how would you put your rookie season in your own words? And what has this process and journey to become a receiver, or I don't know if that's what you consider yourself, what's it been like?
I want to say it's a process. You know, I played 3 years receiver at Kentucky. So, you know, I'm bettering myself. You know, I'm bettering the guys around me, getting knowledge from the guys around me. My rookie season, you know, I could describe it as a lesson, you know, lesson for life.
Travis?
Hey, Lynn, earlier this season, Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator, had talked about getting you more involved with just the basic install that you missed by not being here in August. I was curious how your progression in the offense has gone from the time you got here in September and kind of playing catch up throughout the course of the season.
Oh no, that's Coach Chan question for real. You know, that ain't really a question for me. I don't really like to talk about myself. You know, I'm just, you know, I'm here, I'm learning. You know, just trying to contribute the best I can and as much as they let me.
Salvin?
Hey, Lynn, obviously you're a player that once you get the ball in your hands, you can obviously make some plays and make some magic happen. What excites you about having the ball in your hands? What excites you about you know, making plays and being a playmaker?
You know, it's just sometimes it come natural. You know, it's a God-given ability. You know, with the ball in my hands, and it just feel good to have the ball in my hands and being able to make plays.
Omar?
What's that like in terms of the ability that you have? I would say is a rare trait where you generally can make the first guy miss. What I know you say it's instinctive, but what goes through your mind when a defender's coming to you?
To be honest, I really don't know. You know, sometimes I look at the film and ask myself how I did it. So it's instinct for real. So.
How? Oops, I accidentally muted you there.
Now you got me. Lynn, a minute ago you mentioned that you would describe this season as a lesson for life. What did you mean by that? What have you learned through this season?
Things have changed fast. Things change fast.
We'll take 2 more. Safin?
Hey, Lynn, can you take us back to a little bit of when you first started playing football? What was that like? And you know, what kind of joy does playing football bring to you?
Started at the age of 5 in my grandma's yard with my cousins, you know, my brothers, you know. And, you know, it just really, that developed me to who I am today.
All right, last one, Travis.
Hey, Lynn, earlier you mentioned, you know you were at Kentucky initially, then you had the year as a quarterback. I'm curious, what does seeing the game from that quarterback position do to help you gain more perspective as a receiver?
You know, it's like moving from quarterback to receiver and receiver to quarterback. You get the best of both worlds because now as a receiver, you seeing how the quarterback look at it, and as a quarterback, you seeing how the receiver's seeing it. So I have the best of both worlds of being able to read the coverages and seeing the different disguises and stuff like that. So.